beautiful day comes upon us this time around, and it's another beautiful day again to talk sports. We'll quickly check out the latest stories right here, making the rounds in the world of sports. We understand prior to that particular match coming up, the international friendly against Saudi Arabia, a couple of players out injured have been replaced, and officially we hear that the camp has officially opened today in Portugal, and we're expecting our players to hit the camp as soon as possible. We'll talk about the matches over the weekend in the Nigerian Premier Football League, and also NFF calls up total of 22 players ahead of that tie with Ethiopia. So we talk about Nigerian players in diaspora over the weekend, how they fared in their respective clubs. Jerry is back here again, an engineer by profession, sports pundit by calling. The sports engineer here, he's back here, and together we shall do the needful. Jerry is back. It's good to have you back here.
Thank you very much. So excited, just like you said, the engineer sportsman or whatever you call it. I actually call it the engineer sportscaster or engineer sports journalist. But I'm so excited to be back, and it's just to do what's I love to do best, talk about sports, talk about the Nigerian League, and basically look at how we can actually match up with what we have in the foreign space.
All right, we begin the conversation. Myself and Jerry we do the needful and dissect and discuss the latest stories that we have right here. We'll begin the conversation from the Super Eagles setup. Ahead of that Saudi Arabia clash, camp has officially been opened, and we talk about players that have actually replaced the ones that are out injured. We talk about Olaino, who has been ruled out of that squad, Taiwo Awoniyi, and in the recent one, Jamilu Collins have all been replaced by Tyrone Eboyi, Sadiq Umar, as well as Awaziem respectfully. Now, Jerry, we understand that the camp is officially open right there in Portugal. We're expecting players to start popping up and entering the camp. Also, we talk about these players that have been ruled out injured. Would you say this is a big blow to the Super Eagles, considering the fact that this particular match we have is also a good one, talking about how to prepare them ahead of that Mozambique clash later?
Yes, for me, it's not something to be scared of, because if you look at the game, it's a friendly game, and some of these players actually need enough time to rest. If you look at likes of Olaino and Taiwo Awoniyi, they've actually been up and doing for their club, Nottingham Forest in England, the EPL. So it's something that they just need enough time to rest, because there are a lot of taxing things. That does not mean that you've already tested some of these players. You already know some of their capability. And you remember one of the last time we talked about this international break thing. I told you that being called during qualifiers does not mean that you're definitely going to be going for AFCON. Some players will be dropped. I'm even surprised that Osimhen will be coming for this time friendly, because friendly games sometimes it's not really a do or die affair. It's just a game probably for Cruz to test yourself, to know your capability. It's not that it's a do or die affair that if the result doesn't come Nigeria way, that's the end of the world. So it's something that is just it's a liberal match, a time to just express yourself. So for me, I don't really see it as any big issue, because we still have Lesotho next month for the World Cup qualifier, so these guys still have enough chance. I think this is another time whereby some of these home-based players can even get a time to gel or to break into the national team. Some of these friendly matches, I think, might actually play a very big role in their career.
All right, now let's talk about the players that replace the ones that are out injured. We're talking Tyrone Eboyi that plays for Empoli in the Serie A. Umar Sadiq, after a long length of injury, he's been called back, and now Awaziem has been out of favour for a long period of time. Look at these three players. What do you make of them? You say they are perfect replacements?
For me, because if you look at these players, all I know is that we still have other people that can still fill into that position. Calling these guys is just to add up to the number. I know Sadiq Umar, it's been a very long time. I'm so excited that the guy is back and he has been putting one or two things together. And for Tyrone Eboyi too, I'm so excited for his performance in the Italian Serie A. And for Chidozie, don't forget that Chidozie Awaziem had to go to, I think, Finland, Croatia. Croatia, where he's actually playing the trade after he had several spells across Europe. So I think it's a very good one. especially for me, I'm just excited about Sadik. It's been a very long time for Sadik.
All right, now let's talk about Chidozie Awaziem. We understand for quite some time he was going on in and out of loan. He was formerly with Porto, but now he has settled with Boa Vista. Look at Boa Vista at the start of this season. He has played every match with them, been a solid rock in the defense line. Would you say that he should have been called up earlier than this? Because considering the fact that at a point in time, Boa Vista, were top of that particular league when you're talking about Portuguese league. Now look at him, his versatility. Don't you think this is one of the things we should consider and call him up, for a very long time? He can play as a centre back, as a right back, and also as an holding midfielder. And lots of people for quite some time have said this whole lot of work has been too much for Wilfred Ndidi. Don't you think this is a high time, for Jose Peseiro to try a new thing, maybe a two pivot, just like what Guardiola does with Manchester City?
If you look at Chidozie Awaziem, he's not a very pacey player. Awaziem he does not have that pace. He's someone that is just very similar to someone like Kenneth Omeru. And if you look at it, he's one of the oldies in the league. He's very young. He's not too old, but at the same time, he's one of the players that they've actually stayed in the national team for a while. He has become an household name. But I think one of the things that actually helped Chidozie Awaziem was the fact that he had to go and get himself back in Croatia, playing in the Croatian league, to get back his career. After he left Turkey, he went to the HNN and he was able to get himself back before moving to the Portuguese league. I think that's another thing, but I think it's too early to say that he's going to break into the team, because we already have players. Even the standing captain of the national team, you look at it during our last game, talking about Trozekon, was not even very active in the game. So that's another thing again that we need to look at. That we have a lot of players into that position. We have the likes of Jordan as well. If I'm to bring Jordan and Chidozie Awaziem, I'm actually pick Jordan ahead of him because of the competitiveness, the way the league where both players play and how they've been actually been performing in recent times. So those are the other things that we need to look into. But Peseiro definitely has players he trusts, and Awaziem over time under Peseiro he has been called several times before he went to Croatia. So I can actually say that he has a bit of trust in Chidozie Awaziem. So no one knows, he might actually get some minutes during the international break.
All right, now we're still on Chidozie Awaziem. Now that he's back into the squad, where do you think he's needed most, considering where he plays, his versatility? Now, right back we have Osayi Samuel.
Yeah.
Centre halves we have different options. Even in the holding midfield, we have lots of options right there. Where do you think Chidozie Awaziem is needed most, should in case he gets a couple of minutes in this particular game?
Probably he might be benching Semi Ajayi or playing alongside Semi Ajayi. Okay. I think Semi is also playing. So now that Jamil Collins is out of it, so I think he might actually be playing alongside Semi Ajayi, or probably. And you know that even look at the way Jose Peseiro made the squad the last time. This guy from Fulham, talking about
Calvin Bassey.
Calvin Bassey. You see what the combination between Calvin Bassey and Semi Ajayi too as well in the centre back. So we never can tell right now. It's still a friendly match, so we can actually see him coming into that position, playing there. But definitely it's going to be that he's actually going to be making use of two right-footed centre back. So Semi Ajayi might actually be taking time off to rest for a bit for Chidozie Awaziem. And for Wilfred Ndidi, you see Wilfred Ndidi is actually in his A game right now in Leicester. So I don't think you can actually bench Wilfred Ndidi at this moment for any player. So Wilfred Ndidi certainly is actually going to be starting, while Chidozie Awaziem might come in later, maybe for Semi Ajayi, or start ahead of Semi Ajayi.
In the centre back?
Yes.
But how about we take a look at this like this? How about a three-man centre backs with full backs, and then we can say that Chidozie Awaziem or Wilfred Ndidi plays as a pivot, then allows Ndidi to go up front, considering the role he plays with Leicester City. What do you make of that?
I think the midfield is a very crucial place, just like the centre back, where you need to get your pairings very, very right, because ahead of competitive games. Now that you have Wilfred Ndidi, I know there are needs for you to make some changes, but at the same time too, there are some positions that you need to always have players that you can trust, players that don't get injured. That's why you see likes of Casemiro. You say that, okay, they don't go the likes of Casemiro or Bruno, because if you're a midfielder, definitely you must not get injury. You must not get injured. I'm not saying that injury is not injury can actually come in football, but there must be players that you can actually bank up when it's time of trouble. So, and that's something again that we need to take note for this, because playing a 3-5-2 formation has its own advantage and disadvantages. When we look at our flank, do we actually have players that can actually run the game through? Okay, so is it Samuel Chukwueze that will actually run from the defense up front? Can we trust him with that, or is it Moses Simon? I know Moses Simon can still do a bit of that, but can Chukwueze do that? So look at it. How many wingers do we have? Do they have that kind of ability to make that run? Do we have that kind of left fullback, left back, left wing back, and right wing back that can do that run? So this is another thing why tactics sometimes or formation, we need to be very, very conscious of all those things. So for me, I think the 4-3-3 formation or the 4-4-2 formation is still the best thing. Awazim is still going to get his own time. It's 2 games. So Semi Ajayi can still play the first one, or Awazim start the first game. Then the second game they can actually switch, make substitutions for that.
All right, away from that now, let us talk about the Super Falcons. Ahead of that 2024 Paris Olympics, NFF has summoned a total of 22 players to play a doubleheader with Ethiopia next month. We'll quickly take you through the list now. Goalkeepers: Chiamaka Nnadozie of Paris FC, Tochukwu Oluyi, Amonle Oyono, the local-based Bayelsa Queen, a goalkeeper. Defenders: Osinachi Ohale, Comfort Folorunsho, Nico Payne, Rofiat Imran, Michel Alozie, Oluwatosin Demeyin, and Jumoke Alani of Edo Queens. Midfielder: Alimatu Ayinde is back. Apis Efi returns as well. Rashida Tajibade, Tony Payne, Christy Uchebe, Regina Otu, and forwards: Omorishola Babajide, Gift Monday, Ifeoma Onumonu, Azisat Oshuala, Uche Nakanu, and Okweyemi Ajakaye. Jerry, one player that has sent lots of tongues wagging is Omorishola Babajide. Gets are called up for the very first time, having played in the English League, and now she plies her trade in the Spanish La Liga. The same team with Gift Monday and Esther Okoronko. What do you make of her inclusion in the team?
For me, she's a very experienced player. Been following her quite a while now, and I'm so excited that Coach Randy Wondro actually has actually notified or identified this young lady. If you look at Rishola, if you look at her performance in the women's league in Spain, you can actually tell of her capability, and also how that will actually spice the attacking role of the Nigerian of the Super Falcons. And I think that's something again that we need to look at, because if you look at during the Women's World Cup, we had issues with our finishing third. Our final third, we have issues with our finish. You see us make the run, make the attempts, make the attack. Then when we get there, we miss so much chances. You see, we scored less goals, although we didn't concede much too. But I felt that really cost us against England. Even despite the fact that they were one man down, we couldn't make advantage of that, and that's because we are not very decisive or very tactical in our offensive. So that's another thing again. So I think inclusion will definitely add to what we already have. If you look at our games so far, you see okay, she has played 4 games, started 3, she has scored a goal, and I think that's still pretty good in the new Liga season. So I just felt that she gets a chance to grow into the team. She's not going to be the first person coming from England joining the team. Ashley Proctor did it. So, and we've seen Michel Alozie all the way from the United States. So that means that the women's team, the women's national team, the Super Falcons, is an open place, and it's accommodating because we've not actually had any story of hostility. So definitely, I believe that Rishola will definitely get a warm welcome into the national team.
So your expectation prior to that particular match, Ethiopia, shouldn't be a tough one for Super
Oh
Falcons,
yeah,
right?
obviously. So I don't see it as a big test for her. I don't know. She might not get to even play in that game. Maybe it all lies in the hands of the coach. But if she will be playing, I don't really see it as a big test or as something that will be very taxing.
All right, away from that now, let us talk about the CAF Confederations and CAF Champions League draws that was held last week, and we understand lots of teams now have found out their foes and which group they will actually be playing. We start off from the CAF Champions League. In Group A, we understand Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa is in the same group with Pyramids of Egypt, TP Mazembe of Democratic Republic of Congo, and FC Nadubo of Mauritania. In Group B, Wydad Casablanca of Morocco, Simba SC of Tanzania, ASEC Mimosa of Ivory Coast, and Uwang Galaxy of Botswana. Group C, yes, Tunis, that is our Esperance of Tunis, Atletico de Luanda of Angola, Al Hilal of Sudan, and Es Setif of Tunisia. And in Group D, Al Ahly of Egypt, Sierra Belouizdad of Algeria, and Young Africans of Tanzania, as well as Maniema of Ghana. Jerry, look at this group. The group of death there. I want to hear from you, and what do you make of these teams now and the groups they actually belong to, and what are your expectations from each team in these different groups?
We've seen regulars there. We've seen likes of Pyramid, we've seen Sundance and TP Mazembe. I think Group A definitely will still seem to be one of the toughest because if you look at all these guys, although not leaving Group C too as well, but if you look at Group A, starting with Sundowns, Mamelodi Sundowns, to now look at the way these groups are being structured now. To start with, if you look at Sundowns, they are very regular in their own name. When it comes to CAF games, CAF continental games, you see Pyramids too of Egypt. They've actually produced top-rated staff. If you look at some of the squads that play in the Pharaoh of Egypt, the Egyptian national team, you know that there are players from the Pyramids that play there. TP Mazembe, yes, there are players that this club has actually won CAF Confederations Cup a couple of times too as well. Now, if you look at this group now, definitely all these teams, they will always want to seek to pick a point at their home, at their respective home. Now, I'm actually seeing Nadibo of Mauritania, Mauritania, as the underdog. So definitely every team, probably anyone that can actually pick maximum points against this team might actually be the one to go through. And also now, if you look at Group B.
Before you go to Group B, your pick. Which of these four teams will be going out of that particular group?
For me, I'll be giving TP Mazembe and Mamelodi Sundowns
to get out of that group. Yes, now let's talk about Group B. Wydad Casablanca, Simba SC, ASEC Mimosa, and Uwang Galaxy of Botswana.
Wydad Casablanca, I'll give them, and I'll give Simba too as well. So those two teams will definitely, because of the history. Experience will still take mine. I'll give experience, and I might actually be taking a tour for Group C, and also Al Ahly and Young Africans. Wow, it's actually a very tough one too. Yeah, I tell you. I'm looking at it. I hope the Ghanaian side, the Maniema, they're actually back. They're actually playing the CAF Champions League, I think, for the first time. I hope they get something of it, but I'll be giving, if I'm to pick, I'll be picking Al Ahly of Egypt, and as well taking Young African as well.
Young Africans last season they played at the CAF Confederations Cup, where the team that hedged out Rivers United
they came to Nigeria to defeat Rivers. And if you look at their form, they've virtually lost just one game in over 7 matches. So they really have all it takes to actually stand tall. And even if you see them currently, after 5 games, they are staying in the 3rd position in the Tanzanian league. So it's actually they're actually a very tough side, if I may say. And I think Nigerian player plays in Simba. That's the former skipper of Enyimba plays with Simba I think they are also in the Confederations Cup as well.
Okay, away from that now, let us talk about the CAF Confederations group stages, where we understand the Nigerian representative is actually there, and we're hoping to see what they can actually do going forward in that particular tournament. We're talking Rivers United. Prior to that game, they struggled in the first leg of the particular match because they created bulk of chances and couldn't deliver. But when they played away match, they played at home at the Adoke Amasimeka Stadium in Port Harcourt. It was 2-0 victory, 2 late goals from Alex Onyowa. Before we start to talk about each group, Jerry, now talk to us about Rivers United. Do you see them going far in this particular tournament?
I think one of the problems Rivers United actually had to face earlier in the qualifier was because the league didn't start on time. That really affected the players' fitness. But now that the season has started, I think there's not any fear for them. I've actually noticed a very easy side for them where they could actually edge out, and that's talking about Dreams FC of Ghana. I think that's another weak side that Rivers United can actually explore or exploit in that group. But for Rivers United, I think they have what it takes to progress to the next round. And if you look at them consistently in the last 2-3 seasons now, they've been able to move to the knockout stage. And the last one was in the quarterfinals where they lost to young Africans. Yes, and now again they'll be playing in the same Confederations Cup. So I think I have nothing to fear if they actually work on their assignment very well. If they actually take note of the simplest of all details. So for me, if I look at their team, Academica, Lobito, that's from Angola. Yeah, but this Angolese team, I think we might actually be. We actually have one or two things to actually enjoy there, because these guys, if you look at this team, this Angola side, they've not begun the league there in the Angolese league, so which means that they might be match rusting, unlike Rivers United. So I think Rivers United still has a real of chance. And what do you need? You just need to win all your home games and actually pick at least 3 points on the road, and you're good for the next round.
So Jerry, beyond qualification in the group stages, how far can they go at the knockout stage? Considering they've lost a lot of players this season and they are still trying to shape up. There's no guaranteed starting 11 unlike last season. What do you think Stanley Guma and his side should do differently this season?
They've done recruitment. You see the likes of former player Ben Insurance deputy Cheta has joined the squad. You see a couple of players have actually made their way to Port Harcourt to join Rivers United. It's actually going to happen like that, but I think after playing 2 to 3 games, I think they actually have a chance of getting. And if you look at when their games is actually expected to start, although you can actually say that before then, by next month, Rivers United definitely would have gotten themselves into the game, gotten their players. They would have actually solidified into it.
All right, now let us take a look at other groups. Group A, USM Alger of Algeria is there. Modern Future FC of Egypt, same group. Super Sports United as well as Al Hilal of Libya. In Group B, Zamalek of Egypt, Segranda Esperanca of Angola, SOA FC of Guinea, and Abu Salem of Libya. In Group C, Rivers United, Club Africans, Dreams FC, and APC Lobito. And in Group D, RS Berkane, Dablas Noah, Stade Malien of Mali, as well as Sekoundé of South Africa.
And you know that there's a Nigerian player that plays for Future, so the former captain of Ekiti United, Babatunde Bello.
Known as Fele.
Yes, they know as Fele. Yes, he's actually, and he's back from injury. I think their last 3 games, I was watching his highlights during last week, during the weekend, and I've been so impressed with his performance. Currently, his club are actually the top of the table with 9 points, and they played 3 matches. So, and he himself has been instrumental playing almost all their games in that team. So, I think that's another thing that we might be watching out for in the CAF Competitions Cup, Babatunde Bello, who actually got about 2 caps for the national team.
All right, now quickly your pick in Group A, GR amongst USM Alger, Modern Future, Super Sport, Al Hilal. Who are you rooting for? The two teams to go through.
Okay, because of Babatunde Bello, I'll be giving Future FC and currently their performance in the Egyptian league, and also I'll be taking USM Alger as well too. So the Maghreb, I'm going for the Maghreb this time.
All right, in Group B, Zamalek, Sagrada Esperanca, SWA FC of Guinea, and Abu Salam of Libya.
Because of old history, Zamalek, they are a very old team, but in their last 5 games, they've actually won 2, draw 2, and lost 1. So you can actually say that even in the standing, currently they are in the 7th position with just 5 points. So which means that they are floundering at the moment. But you know, when it comes to continental games, you might actually do well, and in your league, you're not doing very well. But I might still give it to Zamalek, but I might actually be going for Zamalek and Abu
Salam of Libya.
Yes,
so who joins Rivers United in Group C quickly?
Oh yes, I'll be giving Club Africain.
All right, and in Group D, RS Berkane, Dablas Noah, Stade Malien, and Sekune United.
Oh my God! Actually, I don't want RS Berkane to move to the next level. It is what it is. Rivers United should have been here. Unfortunately, they lost that chance. Right now, we will be talking about Rivers United.
I mean, you mean Bendel Insurance?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Bendel Insurance. I don't mind me. I actually, in my head, actually have Bendel Insurance already.
It's understandable.
But RS Berkane, obviously, they are actually very top side in the when it comes to continental game. I love the way they play. They are very tactical, and I've always said that the club has actually invested so well in their tactics, and they are doing well with it. And I'll give it to them and Stade Malien to Mali.
All right, we hope to see how things unfold right there at the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup. Away from that, now we'll talk about the Nigerian Premier Football League. Over the weekend, a couple of matches were upon us. Right there, Akwa United were held to a barren draw by Sporting Lagos, and Lobby Stars got the win, as well as Bendel Insurance beating Shooting Stars. We start off from Bendel Insurance today. It ended 2-0 in favor of Bendel Insurance. The first goal came in as an own goal, quite unfortunate. I will get your thoughts on that, but let us just oppose these two teams, how they played. Bendel played at home, and it was more or less like a one-way traffic for Bendel. You know, they've not played this season. That was their first match, and they got the better of Shooting Stars. What do you make of Bendel Insurance performance?
Thank you. I think Shooting Stars actually played well. The problem was the fact that they didn't get the goal coming. If you look at their stats, the start of both sides, you know that they actually played very, very well. If you look at their stats in that game, if I'm to get the start of both sides in that game, I might actually say that Shooting Star actually had more shots than Bendel Insurance. Unfortunately, the goal actually condemned them to that defeat, and that's something again that you need to see. And if you look at another statistics again, is that since last season, only Sunshine Stars are the ones that have actually scored more own goals than Shooting Stars. And Shooting Stars scored 2, and from that, Califakel's header into the net. And if you look at it, they had 12 shots go attempts, and they have 5 shots on target, 7 shots off target. So that's for Shooting Stars in that game. While Bendel Insurance had 6 shots off target, 3 shots on target, 3 yellow cards for Shooting Stars, 2 corner kicks for Bendel Insurance, 3 corner kicks for Shooting Stars. So this is another thing again. But I think Benga Ogubote needs to work on his team on how to finish well. And I think that's another big thing, another crucial thing. Aside from that, Shooting Stars were not really very, very bad. Sometimes I think now that we're already having stats in the Nigerian league, I think most times we'll get to understand why some teams lost. Sometimes people like the home team are winning. I said no, it's not that home team are winning. Probably you can say that home team are winning, but at the same time, look at the away team that came through. They actually tried their best. Look at, for example, Sunshine Stars against Lobby Stars. Sunshine Stars almost leveled up, almost nicked a point at Lafia, but unfortunately they lost it because of Samuel Tiza's last minute goal. So that's another thing again that we need to see. So I think the league has actually changed. Unfortunately, we're yet to get an away win of the season, but we've got Bahrain draw, Sporting Lagos, making everyone proud. They are the only unbeaten side right now.
And Lobby Stars are yet to lose as well.
Yes, Lobby. Yes, thank you. Yes, and Lobby Stars as well. Aside from those that have actually played just one game, Ben Insurance, Rivers United, and Enyimba with Remo Stars. So, I think it's not really a very bad event for Shooting Stars. And the last time Ben Insurance defeated Shooting Stars was far back, I think 2005 or something. So it was actually a very long time. So taking maximum point really shows that Ben Insurance actually worked their ass off to get that.
Well, before we leave, before we go to Enyimba and Gombe quickly, do you think the defender that considered the own goal should have done better, considering that there was no much pressure from the back? Should he have done better instead of putting the ball into the back of the net? And what do you make of that groundbreaking goal of that man from Bendel Insurance that scored the second goal?
Yeah. For me, I think it's more of a reflex. If you have done better, you are right. But there's nothing you can do. That's where football comes in. You keep growing. So I think that's another thing.
So now let's talk about Gombe United and Enyimba. Lots of people were actually tipping Enyimba to get the better of Gombe, and Gombe played at the Pantami Stadium and they got the better of Enyimba. 2-0 it ended with Finidi George boys. What do you make of Gombe's United performance as well as a result?
Yeah, for me, I was so convinced that Enyimba would win that game. And the reason is that in the last 6 games before that Saturday clash, Gombe has never even picked a point against Enyimba, both home and away. Enyimba has always been beating Gombe. The last season, Enyimba defeated Gombe 5-1 or 5-0 at Aba. Yes. Then in Patami, at the Patami Stadium, they defeated Gombe 2-1. So it has always been the Enyimba's party. But they were actually crushed by the Scorpions, the Savannah Scorpions, on Saturday at the Patami Stadium. So I think it's another thing. And if you look at Baba Ganaru too, Baba Ganaru had actually played against Enyimba when he was in Lobby Stars. I think he played 3 times. He won once and he lost twice. So it was already, according to stats, it was as if Enyimba is having the whole party. That means that Finidi George against Baba Ganaru or against Gombe United is a flawless one, because Finidi George played against Baba Ganaru 3 times last season, home and away, when he was with Lobby Stars, home and away, and as well he played at the Super 6 as well. And Baba Ganaru, and he also, this same Finidi George played against Gombe United twice too. So that means he had played against either Baba Ganaru or Gombe United 5 times, where he actually beat 4. He actually won 4 times and he lost once. So it was as if, okay, if you have to play Gombe United, who has now the combination of Gombe United and Baba Ganaru, based on their previous stats, he should be able to defeat them. But unfortunately, it didn't go as planned, and that's the beauty of football again. Because when someone sees that Gombe United is an home win, he will be surprised. Okay, it's an home win, and Gombe United is an home. But wait, Gombe United has always been beaten at home several times. No one saw it. Now they defeated Enyimba this time around. So I think it was actually a free and fair game from my own end.
All right, Niger Tornadoes picked up a 1-0 victory over former champions, talking about Rivers United. And away from that, we talk about Remo Stars and Rangers International. The game of the weekend, it ended 2-1 right there in Ekene. And Rangers were forced to get the goal before the Sky Blue Boys came back, and it was a 2-1 victory for them. Well, Jerry, talk to us about this. You talk about the chances created, the goal attempt. Enugu Rangers had the bulk of that, but then at the end, it was Remo Stars that got the win. What do you make of Samuel Ogumadede's side, as well as starting the league, on a fantastic note?
Yes, Enugu Rangers actually had the best game. They played fantastically, and they were actually in the eyes of everyone, especially with their white and a touch of red jersey, and that's on Sunday at the Ekene Township Stadium. It was actually so colorful. Unfortunately, they couldn't keep the lead, and you see Alimi coming about to give Remo Stars, that's fine header. That I think that's another spectacular goal. We've seen actually spectacular goals in the weekend.
Across different centers.
Yeah, across different centers. I think the one against, Doma against Bayesa. I think and also the one from Alemi too as well. But one thing again I must actually say again is the father. One thing I've respected Ogumodede for his ability to contain pressure. If you look at the Super Six, they actually lost the championship because of goal difference. They played well. They were able to contain the situation. They played against Enyimba. They played against against Rivers United, and they were so decent. And if you look at that team actually had promoted under 15 boys, beyond limit players in that team. One of them was Frank Joseph, was actually for me was a man of the match in that game. So it shows that the Nigerian league, Nigerian football is growing, and we are developing. Because if you look at the style, look at the way the coaches were dressed, look at the way the players, look at their approach, look at their style, and everything, it shows that we are actually copying the good thing, the right thing, or the right way, the way they do it in Europe. So for me, although the defeat has come for Rangers, but I'm actually tell them that they actually gave Remo Stars the fight, and that's the way football should actually be.
All right. Away from the reactions for the matches that were decided over the weekend, we take a look at our upcoming matches. We understand 2 matches will be upon us on Thursday. Bender, the first match of the season for those who are yet to play, talking about Enyimba and some other teams that participated at the CAF Confederations Cup playoffs. Talking about Bender Insurance, we face Enyimba, while Rivers United will face Remo Stars. And now quickly we look at weekend fixtures. Now Bender will be at home to face Plateau United. Abia Warriors will be up against Kano Pillars. Bayelsa United will face Remo Stars. Enugu Rangers will welcome Niger Tornadoes, while Enyimba will welcome with Akwa United. Katsina United will play Lobby Stars, while Rivers United will be up against Kwara United. Shooting will play Gombe, while Sporting Lagos will face Doma, and Sunshine Stars will be home to welcome the Nazi Millionaires Atlant FC. Let us quickly talk about Wednesday's fixtures and what Coach Daniel Ogumodede has to say. He said Remo Stars are battle ready for the next 2 away matches. That is against Rivers United on Thursday and Bayelsa United on Sunday. 2 Southern teams. And now Ogumodede is talking tough. The question now is, how many points do you think Remo Stars can get from these 2 games, Jerry?
If you look at it, I think Remo Stars has not played Bayelsa United. Last season it was a Brit League, so they couldn't play Bayelsa United. So which means now we'll be looking at a neutral between both sides. Now for Rivers United, both sides they will continue from where they stopped at the Super 6. Look at what these 2 teams are capable of doing. But we've seen in the league, Sporting Lagos went from Lagos down to Uyo to pick a point. So definitely Remo Stars can do the same. Last season they did it. They picked the point far away in Gombe. So I'm not surprised if they go there and pick points in either Port Harcourt or Bayelsa.
All right, now we understand total of 19 goals were scored over the weekend, and this coming week we're expecting to see more goals. And also quickly, let's leave that place, and now we'll talk about the star match that will be upon us this weekend, talking about Akwa United as well as Enyimba all the way in Aba. Jerry, you shoot your best shot for Enyimba, while I'll be here to do the needful for Akwa United. If you were to be Finidi George in Aba, considering the fact that you lost last week, now what would you do differently now against Akwa United, who are still struggling? There's been a change in coach, new philosophy, new players. Bulk of these players are still trying to get themselves into the team and hit the ground running. What would you do to contain a certain side like Akwa United?
Okay, for me, the first thing I want you to know is that Fatai Osho is returning to his former club. He used to be the coach of Enyimba for a couple of years. He took them to the Continental. He played Continental for them. They lost out. They missed out. I think at the quarterfinals, semi-finals. So for me, as Finidi George, I'll be starting Ojuola Onleke as my goalkeeper instead of Njebri. And also I'll be using Bilal Yakubu, Chugoze Chileku, and Innocent Gabriel. So I'll be using a 4-3-3 formation. Somari Alilebo, Daniel Daga, who just joined the team, Ikena Kopa, and Mana Azuko in the midfield. While in the front three, we're having Joseph Atule, Chizo Mokirenke, and Anthony Akachi. So that's it for me.
Well, for me, I would, for a side that is actually looking up to pick up first win of the season, I would parade the goalkeeper that was quite decent in that match against Sporting Lagos. Badmus Nuruddin will come in between the stick and stick with the same familiar back four of Samuel Ganda, Anthony Chukwuebuka with partner Wisdom Mundo in the midfield. In the center half, while David Philip will start from the left back. It's going to be a pairing of pivot of Salomon Chigozem and Ubon Gessen. Ubon Gessen will be holding midfielder for that day, while Salomon Chigozem can assist Osoba Kabil in front. And further up front, Said Mubarak, Didion Ezekiel will come in for me, and Hadi Mohamed, the man that scored 2 goals against Bayelsa United, will retain his place, while Uche Collins and as well as Kufri Edmond can come on points lead. It won't be bad to get a 3 points all the way from Aba. Thank God it's not too far, they are neighbours. This is Aba, this is Uyo. So for me, I will be rooting for Akwa United to get that particular win. And now we hit the brakes here very quickly, and when we return, we'll talk about Nigerian players in diaspora. 3 of them, how they fared in their matches over the weekend. Stay right here with us, don't go nowhere. Welcome back. Now we'll take a look at Nigeria players in the diaspora. We're talking the duo of Kelechi Iheanacho and Wilfred Ndidi were in action for Leicester City over the weekend. Iheanacho scored yet again, while Wilfred Ndidi provided an assist. Osimhen scores yet again. It makes it the 3rd time consecutively, this time around from the spot kick in Napoli's loss, while Victor Boniface was also in action for Bayer Leverkusen as he was able to find the back of the net. Jerry. Iheanacho, Ndidi, Leicester are flying very high this season. Many will say, they are bound to come back to the EPL. What do you make of Nigerian representatives?
Yes. It's impressive so far. The way Ndidi has actually transformed lately is something that is worth commendation for. And also, if you look at Victor Osimhen, his daughter celebrated to the Napoli team despite the
Alright, thank you very much, Jerry, for your contribution. You thoroughly appreciated. I do wish I see you again next time when we're back on the show.
Sure.
This is where we hit the brakes for this week. Do join us again next time, and do well to hit the subscribe button on the YouTube so that you can get a notification anytime we drop a new video. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next episode.